So before we get into today's video, guys, I do want to give a big special thank you to the Vanguard Pantheon on Nintendo Switch. They have been, just awesome troopers and a great pantheon to be a part of. These guys have been absolutely amazing. Not only have they been good to me, but they've honestly been just a really skilled pantheon overall. I believe they were world's first for like a lot of distortion clears for the first invasion, maybe even all of them. I know they were world's first for the first and second. I'm not sure about the third and fourth because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell off SKYFORGE again. And that's kind of the point of this video. And big shout out to their leader, Papa Bless, for always reaching out, looking out for me, always offering help, and stuff like that whenever it came to this game. But one thing I wanted to do and just reiterate and touch on here in 2021 is because I know we have a lot of new SKYFORGE players out there, thanks to the Nintendo Switch. And, make it clear of why I don't play this game much. Now, before we get into this video also, one thing I do want to say is, this video is not to deter you from playing this game. Do not let my feelings, thoughts, and opinions stop you from playing SKYFORGE. That's not what this video is about. I just want you to know why I don't stick with this game for prolonged periods of time. And that's kind of, what I want to jump on today. Now, there are some people, who have given up on this game and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people here on my channel who can vouch and tell you, how many times I've done this song and dance with this game over and over. And, there are people who've been watching me since, it came out on PS4. I was covering a lot of leaks for the game previously, built up a lot of hype around it. There was a point where I was known, as the SKYFORGE guy way back in the early PS4 days of the game. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it. So it all first started early 2017. SKYFORGE was announced for PlayStation 4. Man, I was hype. My channel was moving slow. It has these these up and down times. It's always like this with this channel. Even during these slower times, it tends to bug me a little bit. I feel like the channel will be going nowhere. And then, I'll start covering something out of the blue and it'll just start skyrocketing again. So I honestly, I try not even to stress that anymore. But typical YouTube trial and tribulation, it happens. No big deal. But anyway, the game, I was very excited about it because a good buddy of mine had downloaded it on PC a couple years beforehand. And when I first saw the game and the trailer and the gameplay, I was like, man, I wish something like that would come to console. And that's kind of what this whole channel here is built on a foundation of. I support console MMORPGs in general. So if you're a Nintendo Switch player and you subscribe to me because of SKYFORGE, or you just want to see more MMOs on console, I highly suggest for you to stick around, subscribe, and ring that bell, because when more MMOs do come to Switch, who'll be covering first right here. That's what I've been known for. Like I said, another thing my viewers can vouch for. But SKYFORGE has been around for a very long time, from PC to all three consoles now. And the dev team, they do a decent job with the game overall. Some things I'll say about SKYFORGE is it's a very good looking game. It has really fun, great combat. Some of the most unique classes I've ever seen in the MMORPG. The story and campaign on the game could, use a little bit more work and life to it, but there are just a lot of other back-end issues with SKYFORGE that bother me. For example, the content being repetitive. Now, for you Switch players, it's going to feel brand new to you, because this will be your first time experiencing it, unless you're coming from another platform and you already know how this goes. But once you've seen all the invasions, that's when the content's going to start to get a little stale for you. Now, you have several more races of invasions to deal with, so it'll be a while before you guys start to feel that burnout. But one problem with the game is after you repeat that cycle of all the first few invasions, it just repeats the same things over and over again at higher levels. No new content is added, nothing. And that's one thing that really does bother me with this game, besides some of its its pay to win aspects, which the dev team and my games really seem to ignore. And that kind of bothers me because, a couple years back, they sent out different player surveys and stuff like that. asking us how we felt about a lot of these things and what kind of changes we want to see. And I personally talked to a lot of people that did these surveys, and I know some of the responses that were given. And in that department, not a lot's changed. They've done some tuning, different things with the game's leveling system and stuff like that, but it hasn't been simplified enough to the point where a player who's not investing money in the game can have, a little bit of an easier time. They've gotten better. I will give them that. And there are going to be people, who come down, defend the game and say, it's not pay to win if you just grind hard. It can be, but keep in mind, and this is one thing I learned to do too, because, I was on that side. Not everyone has that time to grind the game like crazy. And again, I understand that's where developers try and convenience people. Well, if you don't have the time, you can pay money to catch up. Now, to me personally, the pay-to-win side in this game isn't quite worth it. I did a test when I first started playing it on Switch. I invested about $50 or $60 into it just to see how much farther that would power me up. $60 worth of Argents ranked me up by about 2 or 3 ranks off of buying enemy knowledge and a few other things. It really didn't do much. So the pay-to-win side, honestly, in my opinion, it's not even worth it, but it's there. You can pay obscene amounts of money to level yourself up in this game, which is something else that I don't really agree with. I've spoken on that multiple times. There's probably no reason to even bring that up here. But the thing is I've been fighting and screaming for these changes for years, and nothing's happened. And the thing is, right, it doesn't make me mad. It doesn't make me angry. I don't hold any type of grudge or anything against the developers. Hell, I even had an old community manager tell me once that, I was making videos bashing the developers and yada yada. No. It just makes me depressed. And I mean literally depressed, because I love this game and I know what it's capable of. And it legitimately hurts. Like, I don't want to bash the game. I don't want to bash any developers. I love my games. I love their company. I love their games. I'm a huge fan of this, Warface, all kinds of other games that they do. And nothing changes. Nothing's added. The player feedback, is just, it's not heard. And there's a small group of, people that are really close to my games that they'll listen to, or at least just acknowledge some of the feedback from myself and a billion other content creators who have spoken on a lot of these issues plenty of times. The knowledge is out there, the information's out there. I know for a fact the dev team has seen my videos because I've been told that they have. There was a really good community manager that I got tight with that left my games a few years back. His name was Killshift. Still really cool with the guy to this day. But he would tell me all the time, the developers heard our feedback and everything like that. But I never asked him, if they were listening or what they would do about it, stuff like that. I always kept the conversation professional, and because I never wanted to be the guy to insult the developers or insult the game or anything like that. But I just wanted to let you guys know the reasons that, I just don't play this game a lot. Now, granted, there's a plethora of guides all over my channel. From class guides to guides to help you out with certain bosses, news and updates on the game. But the problem is, right, and one reason I can't stick with this as a main game on my channel, and this is where you guys are going to see my point, is because nothing ever changes. And that's the problem. When you have a typical MMORPG, right, you can make news about leaks, new content coming to the game, and stuff like that. The most I'll ever be able to announce about this game is if they ever decide, to finally add another class, or the samurai that players have been asking for almost 5 years now, including myself. You'll definitely get a video out of me for that one. That's a funny joke. Me wanting a samurai is like a meme at this point. You can ask a few people about it on Twitter. But nothing changes. The most I'll ever be able to make videos about news and everything with SKYFORGE is if they do another revamp to the leveling system and stuff like that, or some of the DLC and game packs that they decide to add into the game, or I could talk about an upcoming battle pass or something. which, really isn't interesting, and it's just another form of monetization that they're throwing into the game. Now, granted, it's a free to play game. They do need to make money, but there's so many better ways that this game could go about it that would help the player base, and stuff like that. It's unreal. The game's on every platform now. They've brought it to Switch. There is, a little bit of a memory leak issue that causes the Switch to crash. Honestly, guys, when it comes to that, don't be too hard on the developers with the crashing, because I know from personal experience that is really difficult to deal with on Switch. The game Paladins actually has a lot of crashes on Switch too for the same reason. So there's a lot of hardcore tuning developers have to deal with when it comes to RAM. I think RAM and sound are the two most difficult things when it comes to Nintendo Switch. I don't remember why though. I'm no game developer. It's just it's things that I've heard. And hearing it twice in a row from two different developers, it tends to make it more believable hearing the same thing over and over again. But yeah, so I don't really harp on them on the crashes. But like I said, the thing is, it's just that's why my content on this game is so limited, because nothing changes. And I know, like I said, I know you Switch players, y'all don't see that yet. You guys look at me and see that, I covered the game when it first launched and it kind of stopped, because everything else that's there, I've covered already. I've made a new beginner's guide on the updated systems of the game, guide to put you in the right direction for endgame. But besides those two things and the adjustments they've made to leveling, nothing in this game changes. Like when you come back, say you fought the Fight Knights at Generation 1, and you come back and you see the Fight Knights again at Generation 7. It's going to be the exact same fights over again, just with a new battle pass, and they'll be stronger. But so will you, because you'll be wearing that Generation 7 gear and all that leveling you've done from Generations 6 down to 1. Those Fight Knives are just going to match your current level. There's not going to be anything different or unique. Now, granted, there was a time where they did different and unique things. It was around the year where the Grove Walker came out. I can't remember if that was 2018 or 2019. I'm not sure when the Grove Walker came to SKYFORGE. That was one of SKYFORGE's best years. They took the Fight Night invasion for example, and they did something really cool with it. They threw in the Grove Walker, which was, a class that matched the theme and stuff like that. And at that time, I thought that's what they were going to do to spice the invasions up some. Throw, some different content and stories, or, maybe even a class every here and there, or some type of new dungeon to go along with, what's there. But they didn't. They did it for, that one single season. And then shortly after, that's when we started getting the battle passes after the whole SKYFORGE Battle Royale thing did not work out. And yes, if you're a Switch player playing SKYFORGE for the first time, there is a real thing called SKYFORGE Battle Royale. However, I wasn't happy about that. I don't talk about that. That's the one time I think the dev team with this game actually made me angry. Because I feel like there's so many better things that they could have done with this game. It was a unique, cool concept. It actually kind of felt like a hero shooter, but just we're not gonna talk about that. We don't discuss SKYFORGE Battle Royale here in the Church of Tenek 127. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know, like why I don't play this game and cover it frequently on the channel. There was a time where I did, but once I learned the pattern of how things worked in SKYFORGE, there wasn't any more content I could make. Now, I will be sprinkling in some guides, news updates, and stuff here and there, but regular SKYFORGE content at the point I am and how much I've played the game and how much content I've already made for it, it's literally not possible for me to do unless you guys literally just want videos on microtransactions. And that's something, especially, with the way that they're using this game, I can't do that and support that kind of system. I'm absolutely sorry. The battle passes in SKYFORGE and stuff like that, and a lot of its monetization models, I'm honestly not a fan of, and supporting those on my channel, that's not something I'm ever gonna do. If a new unique style of microtransaction comes up and it's an improvement of some of the things that are going on in the game right now, then yes, of course, I would showcase that and make sure I bring it in the most positive light possible, because it would be a welcome change. But the current stuff that's in the game now, I'm just, I'm really not a fan. Like I said, guys, at heart, I love this game, and you'll be surprised to hear that SKYFORGE is actually one of my favorite MMORPGs, probably my favorite one. Just everything about it's unique. But there are just some things I really wish in this game that would change, that I'm honestly starting to get to the point I just need to wake up and realize they never will. And I need to learn to just start actually accepting SKYFORGE for what it is and what it's going to be, instead of, just making these little rant videos every few months and, just hoping some random beam's going to drop from the sky one day and SKYFORGE is going to do this giant 180, because I doubt that's ever going to happen. Especially, because however the way this game's monetized right now clearly works. And, if it's working for the publisher and the dev team, I don't see why they would change it. I mean, the gaming industry is a business. Their purpose is to make money. So I don't know, guys, but I just wanted, I wanted to be honest and more transparent with everybody. Like I said, nothing against the game dev team or anyone in this video, even though some people try to make it look that way, and I cannot stand when people do that. But like I said, I just want to be a lot more open with you guys about this situation. I hope everyone understands. Y'all enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button for me. Leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree with me, it's okay. I'm welcoming your opinion. I'm more than happy, to listen to what everybody has to say. But I just wanted you guys to get a chance to see things from my point of view. Peace out. I will see y'all in the next video.